We just did our youngest iyarn interview with Christian, who's just finished school, just turned 18 at Levers. He goes through the journey that he's had at school with the lived experience with suicide, how he's managed that on a mental health front, on a physical front. But he also talks about, as a young man coming through the ranks, this is going to be the perfect interview for someone who's a little bit lost and, I don't necessarily know what I want to do. And that's okay. Because you're all at that point. And the confidence, he shares a really good quote from The Alchemist, which is the end of the book, and it kind of talks around that in this phase as you're developing yourself, you really need to go in and do the work, and then you will bear the fruit of that hard work. But you've got to do the work first. So tune in and listen to Christian, 18-year-old, great bloke. So Christian Zurakowski.
Yeah, that's it.
Great to have you here for the iyarn yarn.
Thanks for having me, really.
Yeah.
I feel blessed.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Things have happened real quick between you and I.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's been bizarre, the whole experience, but it's been good. You know, it's massive coincidence, us meeting obviously, and it's been good since, having good conversations.
That's it, mate. So you've got a bit of a quote for us to start off?
Yeah, well, it's from the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, or something like that, and I suggest anyone read it. But the quote is, "When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too." So there you go.
Fantastic. Is that the end?
I think it's around the end.
The very end.
I might have spoiled it, but
where did you read that book for the first time?
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but someone suggested reading it, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a crack. And it's a really good book. I like it the most because it talks about personal legend, fulfilling what you're sort of destined to do, per se. It's really good. It stuck me a lot.
But also the beauty of that book is also this idea of actually you've got to do the work. Like that time he's working the jewelry shop, and he's just doing his work. He needs to save up to be able to go to the next
pursue his dream. Yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah, nice. Have you read it again since?
No, but after reading that quote, I do kind of want to read it again. I was going through my bookmarks of saved quotes from it, and it's I don't want to go back to it. But I'm like, the book's lined up at the moment. Come back to it.
So it was really awesome just to share with everyone where we met. We met it for the first time at the iyarn, or just at Northcott Surf Club.
In the morning.
In the morning, and you were there with Chloe.
Yeah.
And you guys just stood out like a deer in the headlights for some reason. You just had these big grins on your faces. So I was like, I got to meet these two.
Yeah. And went up to the iyarn launch at Northcott later that night, and then that was sort of it. That was the start.
It's been a huge couple of months for you because so Christian, you just finished year 12.
Yeah.
At Christchurch Grammar School, and we've been having a few conversations over the study period, and then all of a sudden, we've been playing around with this, and I've really got so much out of our yarns because you've been using it, giving some feedback when we've gone previous to what it was now, some iterations, and you gave me, I'd love to have some journaling options, and all these, and we've added it in now, and all these different things. So, but it's been really powerful just hearing your experience in this such a transition, kind of some stressful period.
Probably, yeah.
And then, one of the real cool things you share, if you're happy to share, was you went and you actually saw a site.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was great. I sort of began to understand that something wasn't quite right, and I thought, if I'm on the track of, doing something about it, I might as well see the psych, and it's been happy days since really, he's helped a lot with what I've been going through. It's great.
So I remember what you shared in the past is that actually you hadn't, and so many of us, myself included, kind of really postponed that journey to go setting aside. For me, it took a number of years, and a lot of people do because there's something wrong with me to see a shrink or whatever it is. Yeah. And then kind of that catalyst to just, I'm going to do it. What was kind of the catalyst that kind of got you over the line?
What got me over the line, is that I was using iyarn, and I sort of, through using it, I was understanding it, this is some area I could focus on, this is something I could improve on. And sort of my mentality was like, wait, if I'm going to be, approaching these focus areas in my iyarn wheel, why am I ignoring something that I've, known for a while? Like, why am I ignoring that now? And so that was sort of it. It was pretty good, yeah.
And then it was on an other end, and I really appreciate you being so open and honest with me in that moment, because my journey through school, when I had, attention or diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, and then all of a sudden it was dyslexia. I've all through from the age of 13 through, I had Ritalin to then Concerta, and so these different type of drugs and different levels to help me focus on my study. And then you shared that actually this is something that you had, you know, maybe this could be something that, you know, and then try out something in this very moment.
Yeah, during exams, sort of when I started trialing, you know, what I was prescribed, and it worked out well, thankfully. You know, it was very risky, you know, give all, but it turned out great. So, and, you know, looking back, it's sort of win-lose situation, because I understand that, hey, if I did this earlier, I would have, you know, got better grades, whatnot, you know, better social life, blah blah blah. But you know, it's bittersweet in the sense that, hey, at least I've come across it now. Yeah. You know, moving forward, that's the way it is.
Cool. Well, it's, you know, it's an interesting one how I think the beauty of these psychologists, they can hold your hand through this journey and try and testing. You know, for me, I did it up until the end of school, and all of a sudden you go for the pediatric, what is it like, a youth psychologist, and then you go to an adult. Oh, I forget the word. Pediatrician. Oh, it's a pediatrician, and then you go to a psychologist when you go over 18, and then it's a different script and everything, and the whole journey to get like certain focus pill or whatever you want to call it. Actually changes, and then I was a bit like, no, mum's not going to help me go to side. I'm going to try doing it without it, and then I've done uni since, and I haven't. And I've managed to, you know, find different methods of focusing and concentrating and things like that through meditation, through sport, and through goal setting and focusing, writing down things. So it's funny how things do evolve, but in certain phases in our lives, these things can be really valuable.
No, definitely.
And you got into Notre Dame?
Yeah, did get into Notre Dame. That was a lifesaver. That
into law? Yeah,
into law. What I was aiming for. You know, ATAR comes out in a couple of days. I'm sad and happy days. You know, cruising really.
Fantastic. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
So now you've kind of, you know, you're in this phase now where you've got a bit of limbo. You did your levers. You had a few celebratory drinks with your mates.
Yeah, a couple.
But you've kind of said also like levers was cool, but it's actually coming back into Perth and back home and actually socialising now you're not in school, and that's been most fun.
Oh, definitely. I think levers was a massive grog fest. Everyone getting wasted, and sure it's an experience, but coming back home in Perth is much better. I think, you know, the culture of catching up with mates is completely different out of the school environment. You know, it's sort of you know, you're wanting to meet up, you're wanting to have conversations, you know, do things together, whatnot. Even the nightlife in Perth is significantly better than Levers, as I've learned quite quickly. So it's great.
Oh, because you're 18.
Yeah, I'm 18. Turned 18 on Levers.
How crazy is that? It's a dangerous combination.
Yeah, very dangerous.
So we've got your iyarn wheel here, man, and you know, we've had a few people in chatting about their wheels, and there's quite diverse. And so Friends is a big one that stands out for you here.
Oh yeah, I'm actually surprised. Wow. Well, no, because I've been on holidays, right? So I have a completely different goal set. You know, what I've had the last couple of years of school. You know, going to uni next year. My goals are sort of all over the place, but Friends has been my main focus for this holidays, like break period. So that's probably why it's significantly higher than the rest. You know, with all the free time and holidays, I try to like schedule my week, catching up with a different mate every day. You know, catching up with someone I haven't seen in a while. You know, that's it.
And why do you see that's being important?
Oh, well, because, you know, coming out of during school, I see these people every day. You know, and now that isn't facilitated by a school, you know, going to uni, we're going to be different unis, probably even different friend groups by next year. But I do want to try and keep in contact for at least as long as I can, you know. I've been through, you know, 5 years with these people from school. It's sort of tough. I don't want it to just fall to bits now that it's gone, you know.
Yeah. So. Cool. And some of these other ones?
Health has been another big focus for me, because obviously coming out of levers, the livers, the internal organs probably aren't doing too well. So I've been trying to maintain that, because I've also gone to boxing now that school's finished. I don't want to, you know, be one of the private school boys that quits all sport after school finishes. So I've been maintaining boxing, bringing up my physical health, and just, you know, it's a time waster, really, time consuming thing. So, and it's also very good for my mental health as well.
Yeah, so the physical health
Yeah.
links into the mental health and things like that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
And over the years, how's that been with school and
school and health. Well, physical health, right?
or whatever?
Whatever. That's a big question. Physical health. We'll start off with physical health, right? So Christchurch is obviously a PSA school, mandatory sport. That's been an interesting journey. Physically, obviously, keeping my health up well, great, running around, playing sports, mentally, not probably the best for me. You know, I played water polo, rugby. Team sports weren't really my thing. I don't know, I just didn't click. I wasn't in the right, mindset at the time. So I went to gymming. Gymming is sort of where I found my my physical health, passion, really.
Right.
I don't know the main reason actually is it's the idea of getting better every day. You know, if you go to the gym one day, you're stronger the next day, no matter what. And that idea of constantly improving each day. And in the gym, I like the picture of struggling and then getting it done, resting. That's it, and then doing it again. So that's sort of where my passion for health came in, and now it's moved on to boxing. I just love boxing. I love the respect in the sport.
Right.
It's not what you'd obviously it's not what you'd expect from boxing. Obviously, it's a bunch of dudes, a bunch of people punching each other. But at the end of the day, for me, I find that after a sparring session, you can talk to someone and say, hey, this is something you could work on. Great job. It's a good. I like the respect. It's something many people don't see. I guess.
And so then that leads into more resilient mental health for you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you get punched in the head and you can't really give up there. You sort of have to stick to it, stick forward. And you can't, have to control your emotions. You can't lash out, go angry, because, when sparring, the guy, opposite, going against you, he's obviously still your mate at the end of the day. You both benefit from this training experience, no matter that you're both punching each other. And you've got to keep your emotions in check so that you don't lash out, do something that you'll face consequences for, really. So that's good.
Yeah, right. And then, because over the journey of high school, it's been a bit of a, the reason why you've been actively engaged, you came to the iyarn thing, you're really passionate about mental health as well.
Oh, yeah. Actually quite bizarre because apparently none of my friends noticed. Because I've, in my journey of seeing the psych, I haven't really been in the right mindset to hone in on these things. When Christchurch launched their, mental health wellbeing centre, I was very against it, despite it being one of my biggest passions, because I thought, it's just a bunch of, not going to get anything done from it. Obviously now, when my whole understanding perspective's changed, I'm trying to change, trying to get more involved with them. But mental health has always been one of my big, I don't want to say passions, but it's something interesting, because I've seen mates around me that have been just struggling, and it's an unfortunate position to be in, of wanting to help but not understanding what to do, how you can help, and it's just, I've just seen mates around me that have been in those bad positions, and it's tough. That's sort of why I'm interested in mental health, to fix it, as grand as that may seem.
And there was one boy when you were at Christchurch who did take their life.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Villa is his name. He was a good mate. I saw him in Trude every morning. He was like a brother to one of my best friends. And that whole experience, it was an experience, it was tough. It really eye-opened, it was an eye-opening experience for me, in understanding that there's so many boys that are struggling right now, and it's just unnoticed. I saw Jordan every day. I'd think, he's the happiest man alive. Everyone loved him. He's a great sport, great athlete, great at school. It was an eye-opening experience in understanding that it's not everyone is how they seem to be. There's something underlying, and it's an issue that must be tackled. And I remember seeing my mates around me just struggling really, and it was tough because I was there. Obviously, I was struggling myself, but I was more focused on my mates around me, and you're in a position of being powerless. I want to help, but I just don't know what to do. I don't know how.
So when you say obviously you were struggling, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, one of my best mates passed away.
Post that time.
Yeah. I don't understand how I should feel, how like what's happened. I don't understand anything really. You know, one of my biggest pet peeves at the time, and still to this day, is when people would ask, "Hey, are you okay?" Well, no, I'm not okay. You know, should I be okay? That was something that I struggled with really for that time. But yeah, that's what sparked my interest in mental health, in the sense that something should be done. Because I've always had my own thing, but
And how do you feel in like the empowerment phase now? Like, you know, you're transitioning into a young man. You know, you are a young man.
Yeah.
And you know, do you feel now you've kind of got this? They've got like a lived experience where you've kind of in your in school and family or whatever. You've kind of got. Do you feel like there are avenues that are stronger now, or you still feel there's something you're still seeking greater confidence around? How do you can be a better friend or better mentor or leader in your community?
I think for me, I do have sort of experience, but for me, I think, you know, I do want to learn more and how to comfort, how to help. My big interest in iyarn is because it seems like an avenue for that to happen. You know, to more conversations between boys. That's obviously something at Christchurch, something I'm interested in. Facilitate these conversations, being more serious, having more serious conversations with your mates, and for avenues in I don't know. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, the active ways around how you can, you know, in these occasions, there's really generally nothing you can do, but like in the community with your group of mates you've got now, you know, obviously you're going to be going down different paths. Yeah. How do you know, I guess you can't answer the question itself really. You kind of said you feel iyarn could be an avenue to create safe spaces for that to happen more often, rather than just going, are you okay? Oh, I've actually got to go get a coffee now.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got 5 minutes.
yeah, exactly. No, 100%. I think because you know, I've been in, like, you know, just a week ago I was in a tough place and I was hoping, you know, someone would talk to me basically. But, you know, I understand how people who are in those dark places find it hard to, you know, have a conversation, which is probably the best thing you could have at the moment. You know, the best thing you could do. And if that can be facilitated somehow, no matter what, you know, why not go for it? Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, obviously you can go see counsellors, psychs, therapists, which are great options. But for some people that isn't viable economically. They're scared, whatever. You know, there's reasons some people might not do that. And at the end of the day, the mates you have around you, the family, friends, that's your biggest resource. Yeah. So if something can be done with that,
I think really I hit on the head.
Yeah.
You know, you really have, in the sense that this is already a social network that we have. How do we leverage off that social network? So, you know, to just have a little bit more of a skill in actually going that, you know, ask that second and third question. Yeah. Rather than going, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so what is that? You know,
and
leaning. And I think this is kind of thing that we've been speaking about. How do we kind of create a culture that it's more normal for us to be able to lean in with the people we care and love most? And that could just be 1 or 2 people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, it doesn't need to be a huge volume of people. So man, thanks for sharing that, because I know, you know, the mental health space is something you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
Look forward to working with you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So these ones here, you got growth. I actually thought this one, because I hear about yourself, you're quite critical. I think I see yourself being quite critical with yourself with growth.
Yeah, well that's probably why it's so low. Because obviously, I mean, the quote at the start said, I focus once again, like, you know, improvement every day. I have, you know, multiple fields of things I'm trying to juggle. But that's where my hybrid criticality, I don't know, whatever, of myself steps in and sort of says, hey, that's not good enough. That's why that's low. That's something I'm working through, but I'm surprised it's so low looking at it now. Wow.
No, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just being quite critical of yourself. So what are some of these things you do that you're focusing on now? Because you mentioned the past your vision.
Yes.
And things like that.
Yeah. Well, right now, because it's holidays, friends, number one goal, really. Physical health. Career-wise, politics, learning. I'm trying to learn some like home electrical engineering stuff, toying with Arduinos, whatnot. Learning about world politics in the Middle East. But But yeah, I do try. Those are my areas I try to fill in my day's hours with. Cause so many free hours.
Their interests and passions for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then what about, and this one here, these couple up here?
Work. Well, actually, no, it works. I mean, I'm trying to find a job. Well, I have a job secured, but it doesn't start till after Christmas, so it's sort of. I sort of blended the work with politics. Contribution is actually a really interesting one because you made this will, so I've sort of been filling out. I like having contribution there. It's at 5. Well, I've kept it at 5 mainly because I don't really contribute much to my community. As bad as it seems, sue me, whatever. But I keep it there. I like having that because it's like to do this. It reminds me every day that hey, you should be doing something about this. So I've looked into it. Volunteer work. I think after because with the fire season going on, bushfires right now, it's something I'm kind of interested in. So I was looking into volunteer like bushfire services, whatever. But unfortunately, because it's the season, they don't really train anyone at the moment.
Yeah.
So after this is all up, and I really do want to look into that just to fulfill contribution, get it up. So that's
And why do you feel there's like a need to do it? Do you think you just should because you should, or you feel do you reckon it can enrich you in some way?
I think ultimately it would benefit me, meeting new people, having that experience, whatnot. It would be interesting learning how firefighting works, whatnot, and even the community aspect. Why not? It seems good. It benefits everyone. Why not go for it? Yeah,
we had a few great conversations. A bit of a leader in the community, he contributes a lot, to so many different people as a mentor. Because when you get a bit older, people are actually interested in what your story and things like that. And but then we went into a bit more of a conversation around really contribution to your community and this whole idea of mental health, and all of a sudden it's the unconditional giving and love that you're giving to a certain project on a collective, which actually pulls you away from the self into the us, into the collective. And that dialogue is, I've been reading this great book called Lost Connections by Joe, which I was talking about yesterday. And that kind of it just goes to show, like, on a mental health addressing thing, it's like you're working collectively in a business or a uni assignment, or something here where you're working towards this greater purpose in doing something. And community groups can be a great way. As you say, it's ultimately you're benefiting at the end, but actually it's a win-win.
Exactly.
So with these wills, we've been kind of having a few conversations with people and asking, if there was one of these areas that you could maybe focus on and increase, what would it be, and how would you do it?
How would I do it? Wow, that's a tough question. I don't know if I'd pick one specific one to work on, because I sort of see it as a holistic approach to it. But what would I work on? I think the one I'm really I can't think of the right word, but I'm aware of is sleep right now. My sleep's been a bit iffy, but it's sort of been something I'm trying to work through. But it's one of those things as well that you can't really tackle with sleep. How do you get more sleep? I don't know, but that's something I really want to boost, because I know that will affect everyone else, really.
Do you think, have you read books around improving your sleep?
No.
Good place to start.
Yeah, true, probably. I've tried online resources. I've saw my psych about it. That's one of the things we're tackling at the moment. It seems to be working pretty well, but there's certainly been a massive shift upwards in sleep, but it's still something it's very iffy sometimes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they call it sleep hygiene. So having that discipline of, I know at this time I don't use my phone after this hour. Yeah, that's definitely something I struggle with. I mean, it's like one of those things, I know I should be doing it, but at the same time, like, how important can it be? Instagram.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't think I'll ever forget last night when we caught up and you told me I was talking to you about EDMs and email messaging.
Yeah.
Like, wait, EDMs, emails? Yeah. That is so lame.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, use a chatbot and Facebook Messenger. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. All right, I'll do that.
Times are changing. I actually check my emails, and I'm pretty sure I stand out because I check my emails. So
but not many people do.
No, of course not. No.
Oh, that's my learning lesson.
Yeah.
Well, Christian, thank you so much for your time. Is there any kind of last parting words you'd like to say?
I don't think I have any. All the best to everyone, really.
No, well, mate, I think a lot of people draw a lot of inspiration from your story coming as a young lad coming through, and all the best for uni.
All the best for iyarn in the future, eh? There we are.
Deadly.